Hello, thank you for tuning in to Dave's Aquarium Thoughts. If you're new to the channel, or if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and feed that bell. That way you catch all my latest content. Today I have a box. This is from FloridaShellsandGifts.com. This basically right here is going to be some, what it is, give me some shells for my Maltese tank. So I needed a few more shells. It's kind of, they're bearing a few, and I decided, no, I want some different shells in there as well. Originally, when I first set it up, I ordered it as well, but for some reason it got lost in the mail, and I finally went ahead and ordered some more to actually fill in some empty spots in there. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and show you what I received. It's a couple different shells. I'm not sure how they're going to look. I'm not sure what the size is. I don't know if they're going to work at all. So let me go ahead and open this up and show you what I received. And just one more section right here to open up. And I really need to find my razor. Let's see. Let me open up on this side. And there we go. So let me go ahead and open this up and show you what I received. Gift for you, enjoy. From Aquarium Thoughts. Oh, apparently they thought this was going to be for a gift for someone. So basically what I got was, I got a couple different shells. So let me go ahead and open what I got. I got some newspaper I could probably read later. I don't need that right now. And I got two different ones right here. And here's bag number one. Set that off to the side right there. And okay, yeah, these are probably definitely gonna work perfectly. This is the first set I got. There should be 24 in there. What this is, what are these? These are the large Babylonia japonica shells. I'm probably definitely butchering that name, but I probably put the name down below or up above, one of the two. I'll put the names up there that we can see. Let me go ahead and give you a closer look. And that's basically what I received. So that's bag number one. These are definitely going to be a size that should work perfectly and kind of give it a different kind of look on the ground right there as well. As long as the shellies actually decide to actually use these shells, that's going to be another story that I'm going to have to keep an eye on. Read forums, and they seem to take onto these as well. So I'll definitely put that off the side. I will put a link to the website as well as their Etsy shop. That way, if you want to go take a look at them as well, you can. Okay. The only thing is, they do feel a little heftier than the other ones, so I'm not quite sure how well they're going to work out. These ones don't feel too bad. These ones feel light enough, I think. Whereas these ones are a little heftier. These are going to be, these are the Goldmouth Turbo Shells. Definitely have a good enough size to them. Closer look once again. These might be too heavy. That I'm gonna have to wait and see on that. I'll probably put a few of these in first and see how the shellies take to them. But these definitely feel light enough that the shellies could deal with them. I know the escargot shells are probably a little bit lighter, but these should work fine as well. Kind of give the layout a little bit different look to it. I know the shellies do love rearranging stuff, so we'll see how that goes. So now all I have to do is prepare these. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting them onto a pot of hot water just to sterilize them out, and before I put them in the tank, and that way I make sure that they are in fact clean, just like I do with the escargot shells. So let me go ahead and do that right now. So now you're joining another edition of Cooking with Dave. This time I'm doing shells. So basically what I do on these is basically I just take them and I'm going to put them into the boiling water. That way they get nice and cleaned, nice and sterilized. That way there's nothing bad in them when I put them in the tank. Kind of gets them prepared for the tank itself. I'm going to start with the Babylonia Japonicos or Japonicos. So I'm going to start with these. These are probably most likely going to work perfectly. I think these are going to be good enough weight where they're not going to be too heavy, they're not going to be too light. So let's just go and open these up and start putting them into the water. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shell. I'm going to use the tongs because the water is going to be hot, and I'm going to try to get the air bubbles out as much as possible. I'm probably going to get a different thing of tongs though. Okay. I'm going to use these tongs because they're probably going to grip them a little bit better. And I'm going to try to remove the air bubbles in here as much as I can. So then it's going to fall down to the bottom. So, okay. I'm going to try to put all these shells in there. Try to get as much air out as possible. Kind of just roll them around. There's still some air in this one. As you can see, it's kind of floating a little bit. It's gonna be the same principle when you actually throw them in the tank. You're gonna try to remove all the air that you can. Not sure if you really have to do this when you're the boiling part, but I kind of at least try to remove as much as I can. Okay, got 3 in there. 3 out of 24. So that's another. This one's still floating a little. So there's still some air in there. That's how you can tell if there's air. They will float. That's one thing you gotta make. It's pretty much a bigger deal when you actually bring them into the aquarium. But you do want to make sure that all the air is out. And when they're actually, this part I'm not gonna worry too much about it. I don't think. Not that big of a deal. I'm just pretty much just wanting to sterilize them. But it'd be nice to at least get them to where there's no hot air in there. Okay, so now I do have all the shells in there, at least the Babylonia japonicas. So I have those in there. I'm going to let that sit for a while and sterilize out. In the meantime, I'm going to do a little more research to make sure both of these shells will be perfect for the shellies. I'm pretty sure these ones will be fine. I do worry about the turbos because they do feel a little more heftier, a little more heavy. But that's going to be a matter of just checking it out later. So let me let those cook and I'll go from there. Okay, so it's been a few moments now and I think they're ready. I think they're done. I think they've cleaned enough. So now all I'm going to do is just going to transfer them to another bowl. That way I can just basically prepare them. I'm going to cool them down. So I'm just going to make sure all the excess water is out of the shells after I cool them off. That way I'm not introducing any weird water into the tank. Now all of this water of course is going to be dechlorinated anyways because basically I do run on a whole house filter. So I'm just going to turn off the stove here for a moment please because I don't need that on right now. But I do love the look of these shells. I do love the look of the Babylonia japonicas. I think they're going to be a great addition to the tank in there. To add a few extra shells in for my shellies there. Especially that way I can actually put them in a few other bare spots where there's not a lot of shells. Because like I said, they're either buried or they're just kind of just in another location. And that way I can hope that other colonies take in those little spots as well. So let me just go ahead and remove these. Now, of course, these Babylonia japonicas, I think they're well light enough. I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about them. Ow. Hot. The water is definitely hot, so you definitely want to make sure you don't drip the water down the wrong slide. But yeah, these I think are gonna be definitely light enough. I do worry about the turbo shells, but I've read that people do use this as well in multi-tanks. Or at least shell dwellers anyways. Don't know much about if they're talking about multis or not, but the other shell dwellers. But I'm probably gonna go ahead and take care of all of these, clean them all. But I'm only probably gonna put in a few at first. So let me go ahead and turn on the stove again. And then we're going to go ahead and start with these a little bit larger on the turbo shells. So I'm going to go ahead and stick those in there as well. Open that up. These are a little bit larger, a little bit dirtier. So let me go ahead and take care of these. Need to open the bag a little bit more. But if you have any experience with any of these shells, in terms of multifasciatus, please feel free to leave comments down below as well. Yeah, these I'm probably definitely just going to put a few in there just to see how they go. Probably the larger ones. Some of these are smaller. I don't know how well the smaller ones will work. Looking at the Babylonias, they seem that they're going to work fine. They're going to allow these shellies to go in there and swim. I don't know about some of these turbo shells though. I'm definitely have to be more picky about these ones. Now I kind of wish I bought two of the Babylonias instead of buying it with also the turbos, but I kind of wanted to try out a variety of them. Some of the smaller multis will probably fit in these perfectly. Good hiding spots for the small juveniles, I think. But we'll see how that goes. Ooh, kind of like the coloration on this one right here. I like the yellow in there. Yeah, a lot of these do have the yellow in there, which is probably why they get the name for goldmouth. This one is an excellent one that I could tell right there. Excellent coloration on that one. Yeah, kind of like the variety of shells as well, not just the plain old escargot ones. Okay, so I've got this boiled long enough, so I'm just going to do what I did with the other ones. I'm just going to put them into the cool water, let them cool down. And then I'm going to rinse them out like I did this one and put them to a separate bowl. So basically that's all nice. The Babylonias are done and now I just need to worry about these turbo shells. So I'm going to turn off the stove and once again just take off these shells, dump out the hot water and then put them into the cool water and let them cool down. And then of course when they're cooled down I'm going to go ahead and rinse them against the water again and then of course then it'll probably be ready to actually put it into my tank and then I shall do that as well. So now I am ready to put these shells in there. Right now I'm going to start with the Babylonia ones. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the bare spots. There's a few areas that I really want to put them in. Basically this front corner right here, which is pretty bare, just has a couple of shells. I kind of want to get more over here because they do have some darker ones here I really like. So I want to make sure that they get more in there. And of course when you have this little area right in here, that's another spot that's pretty bare with shells. And I just want to add more here and there as well, some more in the back, some more in this corner. I'm probably going to be removing that heater as well. So that way, I mean, there's more room for the shellies and I really don't heat this tank, especially in the summer. So I'm just going to remove that out and go from there. So let me go ahead and start adding the shells. I'm going to start with this area right here. I'm going to go ahead and lift this up and kind of push it over. And whoops. And that way it gives me an open spot to actually work. So one thing you definitely want to do is you want to make sure that all the air bubbles are out. Kind of spin it around a little bit. And then I just kind of let it just fall down there. And of course rearrange a few things. Let me see here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, move on to the next one. Move the air bubbles. Let's see how that falls. I'm going to move this a little bit over here as well. Kind of like that shell. I hope that they use that one eventually. I just want to basically do this to give them more shells to work with. Especially give them some more territory hopefully as well. Primarily I do like just dropping these. This corner kind of setting them up. I'll just start dropping them in there and they'll be able to do what they want to do with them. Definitely when you do this, make sure you do wash your hands pretty well before you stick your hand in the water, of course. Okay. Okay, that's enough for that side for now. Let me put some in the middle right here. I don't know what they're gonna think of these shells, but I guess as time goes on, we will find out. I will keep you updated as well, and maybe take a few videos. So definitely subscribe to me on Instagram as well. I'll probably put some videos in there to start off with. So definitely, I mean, what I have here is probably good enough for. I might not even need to use the turbo shells. It just looks like I need to remove some hair from that one. Move that one around. Yep, that looks like it's all done and over with on that shell. I think that's enough. Yeah, put one more right here. And hopefully they like these shells as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and actually remove the heater. So that's a little more advanced. I don't want to do the report on that, so bear with me on that. Okay, so now I got the heater out. I also took that little small tiny pump, which I find was very helpful to actually move the temperatures around when the heater was running. I'm not sure if I'm going to be heating this in the future. I'm going to have to see how it goes during the winter time when it starts getting colder again. Right now in the summertime I don't even need reheaters on my tanks. But let me go ahead and continue this. And today, I mean, I also removed the whole glass, and that's going to allow me to do some maintenance on this today. Go ahead and get the rest, and I'm going to put some more over here. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely see how the Shellies take up to these shells. I don't know if they're going to like them or not. Some people say that they have great success with them, but I will see if that's how it works for me. Things work differently for different people, so it's just because one person has success doesn't mean you will have success. Just because one person has failure doesn't mean you're going to have failure. So, move the air out of that one. I'm going to stick this one kind of a little bit down there where my main Shellies are. I'm also going to stick some in the back here. Oops, I'm probably going to startle the Shellies a little bit, but there we go. Stick that in there and I'll see how that works for them. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to need the gold ones in here. But I think this is going to be plenty of, plenty. Kind of go in here and remove some of this algae in here that I don't need. Do a little maintenance today. Especially on this shell right here. This one's full of algae. But I guess the algae, most of these don't really use this shell right here as much as the other ones, so it kind of gets filled with algae. So I'll kind of remove that. Okay, put it down there. Onto my nice little blanket of towels there. Okay, stick that one right there. And I'm gonna have to definitely keep an eye and see how these shells work for these Shellies in here. I'm hoping they work, and I hope they like the multitude of extra shells in here. And we'll stick that one right in there. And of course, I'm going to add some more light colors into this tank. I'm probably going to stick some of these shells back in this algae farm back here. But yeah. This right in there, and just a couple left on these Babylonia ones. The Babylonia, I'm going to probably butcher the name anyways. Yeah, it looks like that one has more air in it still. Yeah, I'll stick that one. Yeah, I'll stick that one in the back corner there. Sorry, Shellies. Sorry. Upgrading your area a little bit here. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about sticking my hands in the tank is getting water all over them and kind of worrying about getting them all over the floor. Definitely gonna have to clean this floor up a little bit afterwards. But so far, I'm kind of enjoying it. Let's see here. Okay, I think I got enough shells kind of scooting around, and all I need to do is probably grab a couple of those turbo shells and see how the shellies like those, and go from there. So let me go grab the gold mouth turbo shells and put a few in there as well. Okay, so I did a little bit of cleaning. This tank can be a little bit of an algae farm, which is not bad. It kind of helps clean the water from nitrates as well. But it's a lot of just green stuff that just ends up all over the place. And I have a few pieces here and there just still floating around. So the water's gonna be a little bit cloudy right now because it's been kicking up some stuff. But let me go ahead and find some good turbo shells to put in there and see how they work. I'm gonna try to at least find the larger ones. I'm gonna put this one in here somewhere, just to see if the shellies take to it or not. I can't guarantee it, but we'll see how it goes. The shellies probably aren't going to be able to move it much. I know they like to move shells a lot. Here's another good one I'll probably try out for them. And I'll put that one right there. If not, then it's just added decoration in the tank here. Probably going to throw a few of these into my Mbuna tank just for added decoration. Not that the Mbuna is going to use them or not, but let's see here. Let's find one more good sized one for them. It's just going to be this one right here, and see if I can find a spot for it. Okay. And I'll stick this one maybe right there. So there we go. And now I got some more added shells. I put the 24 Babylonia Japonicas in there, and then I put let me see how many of the turbo shells they put in. I put 1, 2, I think 3 in there. Unless I can find another good sized one, I might put another one. Let me see here. Now, these turbo shells, I'm not sure how well the shellies will take to them, but the Japonicas, they should be fine. I'm going to leave it as that and see how it goes. So, there's that, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a little tour of this tank and show you my new landscape. So as you can see, I do have a bunch of the Babylonia Japonicas in this corner now, along with, of course, a couple of the escargot shells, as well as a nice polished one I got from a fish store once. So I'll throw it in here, see how it goes. I don't see many shellies going into the polished one, but we'll see how these Babylonia ones work, see if I get more colonies going, more areas going. And of course I got the turbo one right there, as well as a few more of the Japonica Babylonias right there. And I don't know if you can see it through the water, but I do have one of the Babylonias back in that back corner right there, as well as in the middle back. That's primarily where the some of the multis go. I just want to see if they go in there and utilize these shells or not. It's just going to be a matter of a wait-see kind of situation to see how it goes. I'm kind of curious on how the multis will take to this and see what kind of changes they do to this tank. And of course, this is the side view on the side right here. I definitely got a few more shells in here. I might still move a few of these shells over here in the back corner. This back corner right here, I have some of my darker shellies. As you can see, that one right there is one of the darker shellies. Yes, if it'll focus in on it. Let's see if I get it focused here. That's one of the darker shellies. All the other ones, the ones that normally hang out in the middle, they're more of a light color, whereas these ones in this corner like to be a little bit darker color. So yeah, definitely in the tank you can have darker shellies as well as lighter shellies. That is something that does happen. I mean, yeah, it's all the same kind of fish, it's just a different coloration. There's a better shot of it right there. If you look at the shellies that are normally hanging out in this area. I mean, they're a little bit lighter. Some of the young ones are definitely lighter. Of course, that one's a little bit darker now. I think it's a little, probably a little bit startled with all the activity in here. But definitely not as dark as the one in the corner I showed you. And this, of course, is one of the set that's kind of hanging out in the back middle. And of course, I probably need to clean that sponge a little bit more. And of course, as you can see, these ones are definitely lighter in this area. Here's one of the lighter ones I have. That one normally hangs out more in the middle, as opposed to the darker one that's kind of on this side. So there you have it. Probably gonna do some cleaning up on this and see how it goes. And I will keep you guys updated on how these added shells work, if the multis are actually using them. So stay tuned for that. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do net that subscribe button and feed that bell. That way you catch the update. So anyways, keep researching, keep learning, and have a great day. Thank you.